Hello, this is Screencast 8 of the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland, Introduction to Vectorworks course. In this screencast, we're going to be looking at snapping. So the snapping tools are from, I think it was 2020 onwards, down in the bottom right here. We have snap to grid, snap to object. I just realised the pop-up for these is outside my screencast window, so you can hover over those yourself. Snap to angle, snap to intersection, smart points there is, snap to distance, smart edge, snap to tangent, and then we've got snap to working plane and suspend snapping along the bottom. In the old versions it was a palette up here. Well, it could be anywhere you like really, because they're all floating palettes, but it was a palette, and like all the other palettes, again, just remind you that they can be made visible or invisible here. So you don't see snapping in here, window palettes anymore. It's down. It's a separate thing. It's not a floating palette anymore. Anyway, let's go back to the snap to grid thing again. We looked at that earlier on, and I hinted in a previous screencast about Steel Deck. So let's say we were drawing Steel Deck, and people tend not to do this, and yet it's such an easy way of doing things. In the new version, you must do the reference grid first. 2, 4, 4. Oh, it seems. I don't want it symmetrical, and Y. Let's do the Y 1, 2, 2, 0. These numbers are the ones you should remember. So this is 2440 is 8 foot, and 1220 is 4 foot. So our 8 by 4 steel decks, as they're known, are 2440 millimeters by 1220 millimeters. And then we'll make the snap to grid the same, because remember I said it was 2440. Remember I said that it was better 1220 there. So, and then we'll show the grid. Okay, so we did that by double clicking on the grid, and then we'll snap the grid on. So if I was drawing Steel Deck on stage, it would be super simple to make a grid like this, and then I've got my rectangle tool, and I go snap, 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 snap. There, all the bits of Steel Deck are all lined up, no problem at all. I have seen countless times for people drawing and then using the floating toolbar 12440 tab 1220 enter, enter, click, drag, move, place, draw another one. At the time it took to set up the grid, maybe a little longer, but the speed of then drawing a bank of Steel Deck is far shorter and far better. So that's an example of the grid. I'm going to switch the grid off. I'm going to not show the grid as well. I'm going to switch the grid off, so we're not snapping to it anymore. And again, to draw that bit of Steel Deck, I would have to go to 2440 tab 1220 enter, enter, to draw the same thing that I just did with the grid. Other snapping tools. Snap to objects we briefly talked on in the last screencast. So to snap to objects means that the objects will kind of interact with each other. They will kind of see that it kind of magnetically clicked. I can grab the center and click to the center there for lining it up. I could take the center and line it with that corner, though. It doesn't have to be the same. It's just there are reference points, top left, midpoint, top right, bottom left, etc., etc. It's really important, and one that people get wrong is if I want to glue that corner to there, and I pick up the center, that corner's not going to it's not going to react with it, because my Vectorworks is looking at where my mouse is, my cursor is. It's getting all confused there. So if I want to click the corners together, I need to grab the corner with the mouse and not any other part of it. If I grab a dead space in the middle here, nothing will click. Well, I could put the dead space, but it doesn't mean anything We also have snap to angle here, which if I click on, allows me to snap that. So you see the little tracer line going out there. I've got the 10% that is set back in about an early screencast there. I've got 30%, 45%, 30, 10. So I've got all these snappy angles there that I can snap to or not. It's that. Got intersections. So again, there I grabbed 2 points there, that point and that point, and then I've got an intersection point between them. It's maybe not the easiest thing to see if I grab that point and that point. Well, that would be the center anyway, so that was a bit of a ridiculous one. But intersections are kind of useful. Just to have a little play around with them. Smart points is the one that I wanted to kind of pause on because that's the one we use a lot. So smart points. The top right corner of this, if I wanted to line that up with that, and you can see it's because smart points is on at the moment, as I hover my mouse across that corner and then move it away, you can see this dotted line there and a dotted line there. They're the smart points. So if I take the top right of there and hover it underneath the smart point above, then I can snap to it. That means those lines are perfectly in line. Likewise, I need to acquire it sometimes and pull out, and there it is there. I wanted the center to be in line with the center there. Drag it over, acquire it to a little red icon and pull it down. That's one to definitely have a play around with. We use smart points a lot, and it's well worth just having a little play around with that. There's distances and smart snap to distance, snap to tangents and smart edges and things like that I'll leave just now because I normally have these off. What I would normally have on is the snap to objects and the smart points. That's our normal grid. I might switch on, use, and then switch back off again. But snap to objects and smart points should be the default on because we use that kind of thing a lot and we'll be using it in future tutorials. I think that was everything in here. Snapping is very, very useful. So draw some objects and definitely practice the smart points and the snap to objects, and make sure you are happy with joining things together and lining things up, because that will be very, very, very important very, very, very soon. See you soon. Bye.